All right, gang, tonight I am going to be journeying off to the cinema to be checking out the new found footage flick, Phoenix Forgotten.
Just wanted to do something different.
Does shaky cam and found footage cam drive you absolutely bonkers? You know what? Let's stabilize this camera a little bit. Whew. That's better. Headache averted. Oh, okay, I just got out of Phoenix Forgotten.
Oh my God, what is that?
This has got to be, without a shadow of a doubt, the shakiest shaky cam found footage film I have ever seen.
What?
It's just not working.
It literally assaulted my eyeballs. I mean, so much so that I'm actually physically feeling kind of nauseous right now. It also leaves me not really wanting to see another found footage film for a long time. Can we just put a moratorium on this genre already? I guess my overall enthusiasm to see a new found footage film, it's really waning over the years, and I gotta be honest, I really had no desire to see Phoenix Forgotten. But you know, the whole arc of the film kind of intrigued me. Also intriguing was the fact that it is from producer Ridley Scott, and as far as I can recall, he's never produced a found footage film before. Okay, so Phoenix Forgotten is, yes, a found footage film that deals with the unexplained phenomenon of the Phoenix Lights, a series of mysterious lights that appeared above the city in the late 1990s, 1997 to be precise.
What is that? Oh my God.
Okay. 5, 6, 7 lights. That is weird. Have you ever seen this before? Ashley, what was that?
I don't know what that was.
I'll tell you what it was. I know what it was.
And basically, this film is two films in one. Basically, the film deals with a trio of teenagers in 1997 who decide to shoot this documentary of the Phoenix Light phenomenon, and they decide to go out into the desert all alone to explore the origins of this phenomenon and to actually discover whether or not this was something that was man-made, is it of military origin, or is it indeed of extraterrestrial origin.
Are you serious? It's like 6 in the morning.
Literally nothing out here.
And unfortunately, these three kids go missing and they are never heard from ever again.
I know that you are still alive. Please come home.
Does this sound at all remotely familiar to the Blair Witch Project?
I shouldn't have brought you guys out here.
Because the Blair Witch Project also involved a trio of documentary filmmakers that journeyed out into the forests alone to discover the mysteries of the supernatural Blair Witch phenomenon. So basically, Phoenix Forgotten is like the Blair Witch Project with a different skin. I think that's the best way I can describe this film.
What the hell just happened? You hear that? Oh my God.
But the movie isn't over with that basic premise, because it also flash forwards into the present, and one of the sisters of the missing teens decides to shoot her very own documentary about the mysterious disappearance of her brother, and she tries to uncover all of the evidence that would, she hopes, pinpoint what exactly happened to him and his two friends that were trying to shoot the documentary back in 1997.
What the hell?
I don't like this.
On a positive, the one real big takeaway that I always have with these found footage films is how thanklessly decent the performances are. And I think that found footage films are made or broken by the quality of the performances and by how authentically rendered and textured and lived in they feel, and the core trio of actors playing these young teenage characters back in 1997, like, they're really strong. There's very rarely a moment in this film where they don't feel wholeheartedly authentic. So kudos to the performances and kudos to the casting of this film, because it's really, really strong.
What is that?
It's just a car.
Mark, speed up.
I am.
Oh my God, it's right behind us.
What's it
Oh my
doing?
God. Mark, speed up. Go.
And you know, the central mystery of the Phoenix Lights is compelling, and I think that this movie is certainly never dull, and it certainly lures you in to discover more about the phenomenon and more about the faux documentary that explores the phenomenon, and also the secondary faux documentary that explores that first documentary.
I believe that the flying saucers are objects from another planet.
The Navy has no saucer-shaped aircraft or missile.
There's no good reason for keeping this secret for 3 decades.
The government's been lying about UFOs for 50 years.
I'm starting to go a little cross-eyed talking about this movie. And you know, the film certainly does have moments of nail-biting tension, and I think that there are certainly instances in the film where you're nervously grasping your theater chairs, because it really creates an undulating sensation of dread and fear of the unknown. And so you're making this journey along with the young teenage characters in the faux documentary footage. They're exploring the unknown, and you're kind of exploring the unknown with them. So, but let's be honest, this film, it's very plagiaristic of the Blair Witch Project, but I guess I was just taken aback with just how similar Phoenix Forgotten is to the Blair Witch Project in so many key fundamental ways.
This just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
Aesthetically as well, I had a lot of problems with this film, and that's not because it's shot, especially with the full documentary footage from 1997 with, you know, that grainy camcorder. That's not the problem with this film. It's so bloody disorienting. Like, as I was kind of sarcastically alluding to earlier, the camera is all over the fucking place.
What the hell just happened?
I was going cross-eyed, I was going bug-eyed. There were moments where I literally had to look away from the screen just to collect myself. And stop it, please, I beg you! And I'm not sure if that's the intentions of the filmmakers or not. If that is the intentions, then bravo, you did a brilliant job. But you know what, it made me feel ill and queasy. I guess another problem that I had with this film, and it's really hard for me to delve into without going heavily into spoilers, there are some big logical gaffes in this film that don't make any sense whatsoever. One big plot hole involves, without going too much deeper, the sudden appearance of a camcorder with a tape inside that really makes you question the whole internal logic of this film. And I'm not going to say anything else about that, but I just think that it wasn't handled very well, and I think it was shoddy, and I think it was lazy scripting, and ultimately it's something that I think sort of capsized the whole believability of this faux universe that this film was trying to create.
We need to get out of here now.
It left me asking far too many questions.
God damn!
But you know what? Phoenix Forgotten really benefits from some strong key performances by those 3 young actors. It has a very fascinating and interesting premise. The real problem is it's not done in a very original way. It's also takes the hyperactive, seizure-inducing camera work to whole new levels of headache-inducing frustration, at least for me. And I found this film very hard to watch at times, and ultimately, I guess I'm fatigued by the whole found footage genre. There's very few examples in recent years that have really stood out apart from a very crowded pack, and unfortunately this one doesn't do a good enough job to separate itself from that pack to warrant you paying $12 to go see it in the cinema. There you go, there's my review of Phoenix Forgotten. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film. Also let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite found footage films are. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video, I'd really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to my channel, give me some subscribe love, that would mean the world to me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you at the movies.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer.
Oh.